Hello, welcome back to Soul Search Sunday. I am Johnny Tiger, and this is my diary. This is week number 8 of the coronavirus quarantine social distancing, saving the world while not doing anything at all. The date is May 3rd, 2020. You are getting a view of the yard at the side of my residence. I'm sitting down on the floor right behind the camera. You don't get to see me, and I don't get to see you either. That's fair, isn't it? First, a little bit of a positivity update. The drainage issue in the laundry room have been resolved. I don't know if I mentioned the issue on the diary or not, but long story short, the laundry room have been out of service for about 2 weeks now because the laundry sink was overflowing and there was dirty water in the washing machine. Um, the plumber came out 3 times, were unable to fix the issue. Finally, today, uh, the landlord called the plumber back here again and they got the issue resolved. Now, here's an interesting situation though. After the plumber left, the landlord called me on the phone and actually chewed me out. And he said there was nothing wrong with the pipe at all. And the only thing that was wrong that's causing the issue was the sink was clogged out by all the lint that came out of the washing machine. So he said that me and the other tenant we could have cleared that out ourselves and he wouldn't have to spend $400 getting the plumber here. Now I don't know if he's right or not. I don't know what you guys think, but I feel that he should get mad at the plumber and not us. Because if that's all it would take to fix the issue, then the plumber shouldn't be coming out here 3 or 4 times before resolving the problem. If it's something that simple, you would think the plumber would get it fixed on the first visit. But who knows? Maybe the plumber is ripping off the landlord, and the landlord getting mad at us, and we have no one to get mad at. But hey, now we have a fully operational laundry room again, and washing machine is back in service. So I guess getting my head bitten off by the landlord is a small price to pay. Today, I want to share with you guys a quote I heard this week. Actually, my beautiful girlfriend brought the quote to my attention this week. I want to share the quote with you guys, and we'll talk about how this quote really applied to me on a very personal level. The quote is: whenever you're denied something good, remember that you may be redirected towards something even better. A very simple quote, but it hit home very deep with me because that is almost the rhythm of my life, starting way from the beginning. You see, for most of my life, growing up, I have heard from many, many people, relatives and family members and friends and religious figures, telling me that maybe the fact that I went blind at the age of 3 wasn't such a bad thing. My nanny, the woman that actually raised me and taught me all that I know, is very fond of saying, even to this day, that if I didn't go blind, most likely I would either be dead or be in jail now. She believes that I have a great capacity for a great amount of mischief and evil, and the only thing that saved me from going down a life of crime was that I went blind at an early age. Whether she's right or not, what I can tell you is if I didn't go blind, most likely I wouldn't know the things I know now. I wouldn't be accomplishing the things I accomplished today. The Johnny Tiger Diary and the Johnny Tiger podcast wouldn't exist, most likely. I wouldn't have the tight group of great friends and great people that I know today. Because a lot of these people I only ran into because of being blind or some circumstances that had something to do with me being blind in the first place. Fasting forward, some of you that watched the Night Strike short documentary will be able to relate to what I'm talking about next. And if you haven't, I will be including the link to that short documentary in the description of the video today. So those of you who have not seen it can go check it out. It's a little documentary about my early life that came out a couple years ago. And it's a foreshadowing or a preview of the much longer Johnny Tiger documentary that is in the work as we speak. Just in case you can't find it in the description, you can head over to johnnytiger.com and you will be able to find the short documentary over there as well. Suffice to say, when I was 9 years old, my father decided to take me and my siblings and move us to Canada so we could get better education. At the time, my mother wasn't my father's legal wife. My mother was technically my dad's mistress. So she could not come to Canada with us. The only ones that came over were me, my father, my siblings, and my father's legal wife, my stepmother, I call her. She's also the true mother of my siblings. I was the only child in this family that was not hers that came over to Canada. I won't bore you with a lot of the details, but I'll just leave that up to your imagination that uh, my father basically took us out of our comfort zone, out of our country, stuck us in a strange country, and told us to survive here on our own. And then he went back to Taiwan, leaving me in the care of his legal wife and her children. So it is not surprising to say that they did not like me. They did not treat me very good. In fact, I went through 2 years of my life that I wouldn't even wish upon my worst enemy. But Thinking back on it now, a lot of the things that my stepmother did to break me down ended up forging me into a much stronger, much better person. Even today, the one thing in this world that bothers my stepmother the most, the one thing that is going to be the regret of her life, is that I am in many ways more accomplished and more happy than her own children. Little does she know that I have this quality in me partly thanks to how she treated me. I remember living under her roof, living with my stepmother and my stepbrothers and stepsister in this foreign country. My stepmother, she would beat me whenever I didn't do my homework or I made a mistake in my homework or if I failed an exam at school. Her own children, she wouldn't punish them. She was kind and gentle, very nice to them. If they failed school, that's fine. If I failed school, beating, no dinner, being locked up in the room, you name it. But what that ended up accomplishing was from an early age, my school work, my school grade was far superior to my siblings. Not because I was a smarter kid, not because that I loved school or I liked to study hard, but because she forced me to be that good for pure survival reasons. If I didn't want to get beat, if I didn't want to get locked in the room without dinner, I had to do good in school. Now, make no mistake about it, I got punished in other ways if I did better than her kids in school as well. But at least she had to be more creative in punishing me. Uh, in those cases, she didn't have a handy excuse, such as, I'm spanking you because you failed, because you didn't do your homework, because you're a bad child. When I was a good child, she had to get much, much more creative. So the punishment were not quite as frequent. Another thing that she did, and unwittingly becoming one of the characteristic that benefit me for the rest of my life and ruining her own children, was that my stepmother would give her own children allowances. Every day they would get $2, while I got nothing at all. Her children would be able to save up a week's worth of money and go to the store and buy their toys or whatever they wanted, junk food, snacks, whatever. I, on the other hand, had to get very, very enterprising and creative if I wanted to have any kind of money at all. I started making deals with my brothers. If I do your homework for you, you pay me 50 cents. If I make your bed for you, you give me $1. If I clean up the room for you, you give me another 50 cents, and so on and so on. And then after that, I took the money I made from her children, and me and my little girlfriend at the time, we would take that money to the store and we would buy packs of hockey cards. And my girlfriend, who was totally sighted, would help me sort out the more valuable cards, and she and I would sell them at school to collectors. And $2 soon turned into $8, $8 were invested into more hockey cards, and soon enough $8 turned into $80, and so on and so on. And she and I would divide the money. I was 9 years old at the time. So by giving her own children allowances and giving me none, my stepmother forced me to come up with ways to make money, learn how to save money, and learn how to manage money at an early life. And on the other hand, she made it so her own children never learned the value of money, even to this day. Remember, when you are being denied something good, maybe you are just being redirected to something much, much better. Thank you for checking out this week's Soul Search Sunday. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay strong. I will speak to you guys again very soon.